I got to say, when you take all these in context, you take all of these videos, not just the pedophile and the Lisa Phillips one. Yeah, you see, he's a jokester. It's funny. It makes people laugh. People need to laugh. People like to laugh. And if you could laugh at yourself, this would have all blown over long ago. But no, couldn't do it. Here we are. Isn't going to get better from here either.
All of this is their fault. If they hadn't have wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money would still be intact, nothing.
These proceedings are here to see that justice is done. And justice is, as any reasonable person would tell you, the finding of the truth. Only we have a problem here.
I really wonder sometimes about people. How could you possibly think, as a judge, I'm assuming an educated man who looks like he's been on the bench for a while, how could you possibly think that this would be a good idea?
Update on this Afroman story in the recent legal case where he won. He was literally sued for defamation by 7 white sheriff deputies from Adams County, Ohio. The jury ruled in his favor.
Yeah, we did it, America. Yeah, we did it. Freedom of speech. Right on.
Yet the judge has ordered Afroman to pay half of the court costs. Although the specific costs have not been detailed, the case was significant enough for the judge to indicate that the expenses should be divided based on the merits. Judge Jonathan Hines stated in his final order regarding the case, based upon the relative merits of the case and the justiciability of the claims, costs are divided 1/2 to the plaintiffs and 1/2 to the defendant.
If you are the Adams County Sheriff's deputies and you wanted Afroman to stop torturing you with videos and songs.
You're still employed as a police officer, correct?
Yes.
You're employed in Norwood, correct?
Yes.
When you went to Norwood, you got a pay raise, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you tell us what this is?
It's one of the posts from Mr. Foreman that I was sent about me being a pedophile.
And am I reading the date right? September 2nd, 2023?
Yes.
This is the uneducated can't count pedophile police officer that stole my money. His name is baby making Brian, child molesting, newborn baby mama, newborn Newland. Are there any other examples that you can think of as you sit here today of ways that these posts about being a thief have affected you in a negative way?
One of the things that really kind of upset me, I was doing an investigation as a detective, and I had to go all the way up to eastern Ohio on the Pennsylvania border. And when I walked into the deputy's room up there to talk to them, they all knew me, all knew that I'd been called a thief, lemon pound cake.
Would you like a slice of lemon pound cake? You can take as much as you want to take. There must be a big mistake. Would you like to have a slice of my lemon pound cake?
He sold merchandise, sweatshirts, T-shirts, things of that nature at all of his venues. Matter of fact, they were for sale at a smoke shop here in town.
Have you seen that post?
Yes.
And that is the singular post that Mr. Foreman made in reference to you, correct?
Yes.
Where you were called, and I quote, Colonel King Kong Bundy.
Yes.
King Kong Bundy was a wrestler, correct?
Yes.
Damn good one, correct?
I don't know about that. I can't answer that.
Has anybody in Adams County verified her vagina? If you haven't, you should, or she might whoop out something bigger than yours.
She's not too ugly. She's not too fine, but she's not too fun. Might whip out something that's bigger than mine. Lick 'em up, Lisa. Lick 'em up, pussy like Lisa.
Because if the goal is to stop the harassment, is to stop these police officers, these 7 guys and gal, from being tortured, being harassed by Afroman, do you really think going against the jurors who ruled in favor of Afroman to support these fools who knows why, decided it would be a smart decision to sue Afroman after they, let me remind you, wrongfully broke down his gate?
Will you help me repair my gate?
His door.
Will you help me repair my door?
Rummaged through his home.
Any kidnapping victims inside my CDs? Any kidnapping victims inside my CDs?
Rummaged through his clothing.
Is there 1,000 pounds of weed in my suit pockets? Is there 1,000 pounds of weed in my suit pockets?
Turned off his surveillance system in the home.
The Adams County Sheriff Department disconnected my cameras.
Took God knows what.
You represent the law, and it's funny. You're still in my legal work hard every day. Pay taxes, money.
Had a warrant when all they needed to do was like knock on the door and say, hey, can we come in? Maybe there's been a mistake here.
The respect for my family, including my law enforcement family, wasn't nothing like the respect I gave to his children the night of the raid. I stopped what I was doing when his wife, who I know and have been friendly with for years as far as being associates, said, hey, they were next door. Somebody pulled in and they're scared. I stopped what I did.
Wait a minute.
What I was doing, and went and checked on his kids to make sure they were safe.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. So wait. So they knew him. So these cops knew him, knew whose house they were at, knew his family, knew his kids. And so the assertion was that he was actually holding somebody hostage in his basement. And rather than giving him the courtesy of going to the house and knocking on the door and saying, hey, is there a kidnapping victim? I know there probably isn't, but is there a kidnap? No. Nope. Instead, they break his door down. So why, sir? It's like the audacity of this guy to not see that there wasn't a crime being conducted to begin with. He just keeps leaving it out. Well, I was so respectful to his kids. Well, were you?
Because that's a priority to me. But the same respect that was given to his family.
Though? No, you don't see. Just, okay.
Had no regard to mine or me. And that affects me. Because to see my family in distress because of my job is distressful to me. To have the public send you death threats over lies is distressing. And it was easy. Stop with the lies. But that wasn't enough. It's happening today. My kids came home yesterday because of new posts.
Your
Same
Honor,
thing.
I'm going to renew this objection again. It's beyond the narrative at this point, and further, this is not bringing in evidence that is beyond this.
We're not going to allow like videos from yesterday. I get that. Last Friday, we have a video. I get what you're saying about the evolving nature of the conduct. That testimony is consistent with other people's experiences of the harm, but we're not going to bring in the exhibits. We're not going to bring in the content.
But they can testify about stuff that's happening at this time.
Well, because you now realize it's happening, right?
I would register an objection for the record.
You realize that even if Afroman never posts again about any of this, which I trust he will, because why not? Of course he should. But even if he decided for some reason never to post about them again, now we've all picked up the story. It's like shocking, the level of stupidity here. Shocking on the part of everyone, including the judge, who now took a story that was over, that died, that had gone by the wayside, and that in a month would just be forgotten. Now he's poked the bear. He's made it a story about more injustice. And now it's going to go on forever, you effing moron. Somehow, some way, it's Afroman's responsibility because they feel sad.
And my daughter came home and advised me that she was getting messed with at school because apparently her mom is having sex with Afroman, and since she's biracial, that must be her daddy.
Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. Yeah.
Along with being a thief.
Wait a minute. This is disingenuous. Mr. Randy here has a white, Caucasian wife.
That's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich.
So if he has a biracial child, then the real issue here is not what Afroman is saying, but is the fact that he's being questioned by his adopted daughter about who her real daddy is. And that has nothing to do with Afroman. And I remind you, had they not broken down his door, they wouldn't be in this situation to begin with.
How did that affect you?
It's horrible. It's hard when your job that you're doing affects your family, which affects you. When you have a kid come home crying that's already been through a life, and now they're getting hazed and harassed because somebody thinks it's funny. Somebody knows it's not true.
Not for nothing, dear, but if your daughter doesn't know that that isn't true, then it sounds to me like you maybe have bigger problems on your hands.
Been with my wife for 28 years. She didn't have an affair with Mr. Foreman. She didn't make my daughter with Mr. Foreman. But now my family has to be harmed because of straight up 100% lies. Where in the world is it okay to make something up for fun that's damaging to others when you know for sure it's an absolute lie?
You see, the problem here that this gentleman just is leaving out completely is that Afroman didn't pick this guy out of the sky and start making fun of him and making up stories about him. This guy is on his surveillance system in his home Remember, he was doing nothing illegal at all. And this man, along with 6 of his buddies, elected to break down the gate, literally break down the front door of his house, search through the entire home, take whatever they wanted, take cash that they found out of a suit pocket, not apologize, not go on the record publicly and say, oh, we're sorry, we, screwed up, got the wrong person.
Will you pay me for doing me wrong? Will you pay me for doing me wrong? Or will I have to get paid from this song?
The address was wrong, whatever. Afroman didn't do anything here. Pay for the damage that they did to his house? What about his reputation? What about the fact that you had a search warrant that said that he had a kidnapped person in his home? That's completely made up. That's completely false. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever to accuse him of that. And by the way, according to the search warrant, had he been in the house, they had every right to shoot him if necessary, to kill him if they felt it was warranted. Judge Roy Drupi Gabbert is the judge that signed the fictitious kidnapping warrant that green-lighted the criminal operating inside of the Adams County Sheriff Department to attempt to kill me in front of my kids, steal my money, disconnect my cameras, then sue me for humiliating them by being peaceful, positive, being a sport, and writing comical songs about the people who came to kill me in front of my children. This judge that tried to have me killed in front of my kids is suing me because when I post a picture of him next to Droopy, it humiliates him. He can't take the ridicule he's getting from the pictures I post of him next to Droopy. This picture of him next to Droopy is giving him loss of reputation. He can take my life, but he can't take a joke from the guy he tried to kill, Judge Roy Drupi. Gabbert is one serious, sensitive guy. Everybody in the world, please don't compare Judge Roy Drupi Gabbert to Droopy, because he will sign a fictitious warrant, send the criminals operating inside of the Adams County Sheriff Department to your house, kill you, steal your money, disconnect your cameras, then laugh if you ask them to repair the damages. Judge Roy Drupi Gabbert shirts coming to ... Go buy the album, and lemon pound cake available on all platforms.
To anybody in this, it talks about a Judge Gabbert who is not a party to this at this time. And as such, it doesn't identify even the officers. It talks about the Adams County Sheriff's Department in limited thing. It talks about a lawsuit by a judge. It is not relevant in this, and it is surely not proper defamation evidence.
For the benefit of the record, since I don't live here, are we referring to the magistrate?
No, Your Honor. Judge Roy Gabbert is so we have a county court in Adams County.
Okay, so that's the county court.
Yes.
So that statement is accurate with regard to the height.
He is a judge, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
And this is the reason why the jury didn't rule in their favor. Because all you have to do is have eyes. And it's like, well, he didn't just pick you out of a hat, dear. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd.
Some of these posts that we've seen call you a thief.
Yes.
Did that affect you or your job in any way?
Yes. We as we've already heard, we can't go to calls, not figuratively every call, but
Well, now it'll be every call. So excellent job by you guys diffusing the situation.
the frequency of it, people automatically, you're still in Mr. Foreman's money. You illegally raided him. You've done all these things. Your wife's having sex with him. Is that why you stole his money? Never touched his money. It's been proven. He knows.
Somebody say that to you?
Yes. You can't make these simple street arrests with people that are mouthy. I get that. But now there's just fuel to the rage. And then the fact that at the time I worked night shift, Adams County is a rural county. You do your work in your car a lot of time. You do your paperwork in your car. Well, try to find someplace safe to sit when you're literally getting death threats because of lies. You're absolutely in fear for your safety to begin with as a police officer. But now intensify that because somebody is lying about a situation that they know the facts of.
Way better now.
Now you have to worry about it because.
Well, now you have to worry about global threats to your life. So excellent job by you, sir. Excellent job. Right? Who thought that the way out of this mess was by elevating and escalating the problem to international status? Because that is what they have done.
I like to pick right up with this visit to the Pennsylvania border. You said they knew you as Lemon Pound Cake.
Yeah, that was what they referred to me as, a person.
And they asked you for your autograph, correct?
One of them did, yes.
All right.
Your Honor, if you could have a sidebar about the exhibit.
So this is interesting. And to my point, I have to tell you, I didn't get this feeling before this particular retired deputy testified. But now with this guy, I'm starting to get the feeling that this guy wants the attention. Think about it. He's getting people asking for autographs. This is this tiny little town. And there's pictures of him on a t-shirt at the smoke shop. Right? A nobody guy, nobody retired cop with probably nothing to do. What the hell is this guy doing all day now that he's retired a few months ago? But sitting on the internet, probably looking up stuff about himself. I think to my very question about why would they elevate themselves into national and even global stardom with this nonsense? Well, now I'm starting to realize maybe that's what they want, or at least what this guy wants. I'm pretty sure Lisa Phillips doesn't want this. And I'm pretty sure some of the other characters in this cast don't want this because they're not being made fun of for staring at the lemon pound cake, right? One of them is being called a pedophile. And importantly, much like our deputy Randy, it turns out that our pedophile cop, he has a brother who actually is a charged pedophile. So again, we have another situation where the way that Afroman has chosen to highlight these officers in jest, joking around, is hitting home because of personal stuff that has nothing to do with him. Whether he knew that or not, who knows? It is a small community. But this guy, the quote pedophile, he got a better job and he got a pay raise. So how bad is this really affecting his actual real life? And the other, well,
it says disconnect after stealing my money, is suing me for humiliating her, giving her mental stress, ridicule, and the loss of her reputation. She doesn't like being called Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow, Lisa full of shit Phillips, but she loves stealing money and disconnecting cameras of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. That's March 25th of 2023. Is that right?
Lieutenant Lickumlow, Lisa, stop looking at pussy back there. That's the problem. You always look at pussy and you don't even know how many pussies you licked. You don't even know how many Video cameras you've been disconnected.
Let's go to the next one.
Getting more with the police, my ex-wife just like Lisa. She jealous of me.
For them, this isn't funny. But for Lemon Pound Cake Guy, I gotta say, I'm starting to think maybe he wants the attention. What possible conclusion could I come to but for that, given the circumstances? Either that or you have to seriously, like, something has to be wrong with you. Or you have to roll the dice, figuring, yeah, there might be some temporary backlash from the attention we'll get from trial, but if we win, it'll all stop. That might be what Lisa Phillips is thinking. That might be what Pedophile Guy is thinking. But you got to know you could lose. And because of who Afroman is, and because of the fact that he's a generally likable guy wearing a suit and sunglasses made out of the American flag, you got to know, big chance you could roll the dice and lose and then become a household name, which is much worse than being somebody who people in town know. So now, that's exactly what happened. And to make matters worse, a judge who I am sure thinks he's helping has made the situation catastrophically worse for everybody, including him. These judges, man, I tell you, their arrogance. Listen, if somebody out there has a lot of time, we need a Yelp-like review system for judges. So it's an idea. If I had the time, which I absolutely do not, I do not have the time to be doing this right now. But if I did, I think it's a good idea. I think we need it. These judges, there needs to be accountability. Okay, I'll shut up now. I'm shutting up.
Multiple times.
You
You
were
received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
Okay. And the context of that name comes from a music video that Mr. Foreman created, correct?
I don't know where he got it at, but you'd have to ask him that question.
Okay.
They found no kidnapping victims, just a living pound cake. Mama's living pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what? What was that? Mama's living down cake.
Hilarious. Funny. So stupid funny.
The sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what?
This guy is trying to make the claim that he doesn't know why they call him Lemon Pound Cake. Like, he didn't know that until now, right now, watching this video. He has no idea. Come on. Come on. That's just not honest. Of course you know why they call you that.
Okay, so Officer Pound, being called Officer Pound Cake has nothing to do with this lawsuit.
No.
So the only thing that you're saying painted you in a negative light is the general comments calling the Adams County Sheriff's Department thieves.
No,
Correct?
calling me a thief.
So there is a specific post that calls you a thief.
There's photographs of me on it, and he's accusing all of us of being thieves. So that incorporates me as well.
So it refers to.
That's interesting. So kind of to my point, he doesn't mind the Lemon Pound Cake stuff. He kind of likes the Lemon Pound Cake stuff. He doesn't like the thieves. They might have won had they only brought this case with the two, with Newman and Phillips, right? And it is a little dishonest. I could sense that he kind of liked it. You could see that. Someone asked for his autograph. It makes him important.
I live in Adams County for now.
How long have you been a resident of Adams County?
I believe the 5th grade. I moved here as a young child.
And how are you currently employed?
I'm not currently employed. I'm temporarily living off some savings I had while I seek mental health treatment.
Okay. And just to back up a moment, you were a Adams County deputy sheriff at some point.
I was at one time, yes, sir.
And can you tell us when that was?
I can't give you dates. I'm sorry. I was a police officer for approximately 10 years. I spent 5 of which out of state, another 5 with the Adams County Sheriff's Office.
Which
You don't know
state
when.
were you in?
Kentucky.
And then you came to Adams County.
I was from Adams County originally.
To work.
I was graduated from the Christian school and joined the Army. Later on, I went to Afghanistan. When I came home, there was a job opening at the Maysville Police Department. I could walk right in, a good job. So it was an open door. It was an economic decision. I made it.
Nobody's asking you those questions here.
And your father was also an Adams County deputy sheriff?
Correct. Yes.
He's in the courtroom?
Yes, he is.
Sean Cooley?
Yes.
He's a family guy, every pound and
So,
This is his youngest. How old is this
Mr.
guy?
Cooley, were you involved in this warrant execution on Mr. Foreman's home?
Yes, sir.
And have you seen the posts and videos
Yes, I have.
concerning this warrant execution?
Yes, I have.
Could we take a look at exhibit? It looks like it was posted March 21st, 2023. Does that look correct?
Yes.
Looks like it says, "Good morning, ladies. I want to thank everybody that bought the merchandise with the faces of the criminals camouflaged as law enforcement on them. These images taken from my home security camera will help expose the thieves and vandals disconnecting people's security camera, stealing their money, working for the Adams County Sheriff Department. The proceeds help me fix the damage these burglars and vandals sarcastically and arrogantly refuse to repair. The proceeds will also go to help fight American systemic racism in the justice system and the criminals camouflaged as law enforcement officers. Order your merch now from www.ogfroman.com. Check out the album Lemon Pound Cake." Did you receive any responses at all, reactions from the community when this post came out?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this post. This post actually does not identify a single person. It actually doesn't even have the context to tell us which officer it's referring to. In a defamation case, you cannot use evidence of a general reference to an unidentified, especially an organization. A government organization cannot be defamed by law. Such, I would object to this at this time because there is no link between that question and this post.
Could we see the entire picture, please?
And you see here, I like this lawyer. He's pretty by the book, honestly. He's objecting when it's appropriate, but I think that the judge just feels bad for these cops. And yeah, this is one of those cases where, yeah, definitely good idea not to make this a bench trial. For sure.
So I'll allow the exhibit. I understand your objection.
Oh, yeah, they're on the pictures, they're on the post.
Thank you, Your
I guess
Oh, that's
I've
the
asked
father.
this question. You've seen this, you saw this post at about the time it came out, is that right?
Around the
Oh
time
my
it came out,
God,
yes,
look
sir.
at the
Let's
Family
take a look
Guy.
at the next, at exhibit 4, actually. I'm going to ask you for my own sake to blow it up just a little bit because I'm having trouble reading it. Thank you.
Essentially, a racist judge signed a fictitious false warrant, lying on the warrant, accusing me of kidnapping and drug trafficking. The warrant put the Adams County Sheriff in a position to attempt to kill me. He's right. After the Adams County Sheriff burglarized, vandalized, and destroyed my property, they became thieves and stole my money. After they stole my money, they became criminals. And they became criminals, they lost their right of privacy. My house is my property. My video camera films everything on my property. As they began stealing my money, disconnecting, plus destroying my video camera system, they became my property. Criminals caught. I used footage of my property to raise money to pay for the damages they done and to identify the criminals operating inside of the sheriff's department that stole my money, ransacked my house, and disconnected my video cameras. Not knowing who the criminals were operating in the Adams County Sheriff's Department, I gave them humorous nicknames. I am a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen who was violated by criminals camouflaged by law enforcement.
Myself from this case in the beginning. I was kind of dealing with some other issues. I mean, I'll be reasonable about it, but the lies continued. And it just wouldn't stop. It enraged the community, and it got to the point that we were receiving death threats at work. It got to the point that my family felt unsafe. Stop. It got to the point where we would.
Do you not see, dear, what is happening? Did you really think in your heart of hearts that this was going to stop it? Come on. Like, this is insulting to our collective intelligence. Come on.
We would get a call that says, "Oh, I'm coming down there. I'm coming down to do whatever." It was a threatening call. And then we'd get a call about a tree down in a wildlife area. And we'd have to go. And I'm not going down there. I mean, this could be a setup. This became, we were legitimately afraid that this was going to turn from what it was into something violent.
So the solution that you came up with was to bring a lawsuit to elevate the problem to national and even international status, taking the problem out of the hands of Afroman, who maybe had the ability to control to some degree the flow of information and posts and how many people saw those posts, to now escalating the problem like wildfire internationally. Because now he no longer has control over this story, does he? Now I have his footage, and all of us have his footage. All of us have his footage. So this was a brilliant decision. Brilliant decision. Like I said, so stupid you can't feel bad for these people.
Because he used his position of power to spread a lie. You enraged the community, and you put me and my family in danger over this. Every bit of this was a lie, and you knew it.
Shouldn't have threw a fake rage.
Just disregard
the court
statement. Finish up your testimony.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Did you receive any personal phone calls or comments about your perceived role in this warrant investigation?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Did you receive any personal calls yourself accusing you or threatening you concerning this situation?
I didn't receive any phone calls. On my personal cell phone, that was threatening. I had I don't know if it was a podcast or a news agency. I quickly shut that down. But at work, the environment just became too much to handle. It's every day you have to go in and deal with the attitude that was the anger that people had. But it was never my place to adjust that. I got called in off vacation because I was looking for overtime. I needed money. I was trying to, at the time, buy a house, adopt kids, overtime. So I come in off vacation to deal with this. And because of the backlash, I began to hate that agency.
No, nobody involved me personally. I'm involving myself. I'm conflating issues because I'm not mentally stable by your own testimony. I hate the agency because it's their fault, which is true. I mean, it is their fault. Somebody made a decision to accuse Afroman of kidnapping and selling large quantities of drugs. Could have knocked on his door and asked to look around. Just saying. But it's interesting how nobody here wants to acknowledge that they did anything wrong. Like, if you didn't know any better, you would think that Afroman just, like, out of a hat picked these men and women, I think, and said, oh, randomly, I'm going to just make fun of you. But that's not what happened. You guys put yourselves on his radar. And I get you weren't the one who wrote the search warrant. I get that. But you know what you do? You know the best way to handle this? You let it roll off your back, buddy. You let it go. You let it go. You make fun of yourself. You disarm everybody else. You show up with a Afroman hat on to the scene. You roll with it. You laugh too. Right? Because if you're not a thief, you're not a thief. You're still employed by the sheriff's department. You didn't lose your job. You didn't, weren't first forced to resign. You weren't suspended. There was no investigation of you. Most of these people were promoted. So it's like, come on with this. You know who had harm done to him, though? The guy you're trying to get money from. So it's really hard to feel bad for these people because they've done it to themselves. And just because you don't know how to deal with what's happening doesn't mean that Afroman is the one responsible. That's really what this is. These people don't know how to handle this situation and they're looking for somebody to blame. Well, they're looking in the wrong place because I could have helped you de-escalate this situation a very long time ago. But not anymore. So stupid. So stupid.
Do you know where he made these allegations?
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, social media.
How did you learn about these accusations on the internet that you were a thief?
Friends and family were sending them to me.
Were the accusations true?
No.
Did he accuse anyone other than you of stealing money?
He multiple times he accuses all of being thieves.
You introduce yourself to the jury, please.
Lisa Phillips,
And Lisa, where do you live?
Adams County.
How long have you lived in Adams County?
At least 24 years or so.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a deputy sheriff.
When did you start your career in law enforcement?
2001.
And what were you doing at that time?
I graduated high school in 2000 and went to the police academy.
Well, what academy did you go to?
Greenfield Police Academy in Hillsborough.
And how long have you known you wanted to be a police officer?
Since I was a kid.
We have another video. We're ready to do that?
Yes.
This is a video that was posted, I believe, last Friday.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Liquor Alicia came to town. She left the percent all around. From Adams County to the 275.
For the record, would you give us your name, please?
My name is Joseph Edgar Foreman.
You are known under the stage name as Afroman, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you create music videos and do performances, is
Yes,
that right? How many states of the United States have you performed in, do you think?
All of them.
All 50?
Yes, sir.
And how many countries have you performed in?
I don't remember, but not all of them, but I've been to a few.
How many live performances did you do last year, roughly?
I don't know, possibly 250. I don't know, but I don't know. That's a lot of days, but I don't know exactly.
And you have a residence here in Adams County, correct?
Yes, sir.
You have been performing for 20 or 30 years, is that right?
All my life.
All right. And is it fair to say that one of the first big hits you had was But Then I Got High?
Because I got high.
Because I Got High? And do you think it's accurate to say that that song has had over 300 million views on YouTube?
Sounds right.
You have a large presence on social media, obviously, correct?
Depends on your definition of large. There's bigger people than me, but I'm all right.
And on Instagram, is it fair to say that you have 247,000 followers?
Yeah, I just got some of them the other day.
You got new ones coming all the time?
Yes, not all the time, just here lately.
Because the trial's coming up?
Yeah, all the publicity from the officer's lawsuit and me is running up my numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, you have almost 1 million followers, 983,000. Is that right?
I haven't looked. It was 977 last time I looked.
And on TikTok,
1.21 million
you have
now.
about 392,000 followers.
I haven't looked at it, but that sounds kind of right.
You know when you post something that a lot of people are going to see it, don't you?
Yes.
When this search happened back in August of 2022, Mr. Foreman, you weren't at home?
No.
You were driving home from Chicago?
Yes.
And you got an alert from a family member that the sheriffs were there searching your home. Is that right?
Yes.
And you were able to turn on your phone and watch through your home security system what the deputies were doing for a period of time, weren't you?
Yes.
And is it fair to say you were angry and upset about this search?
I wasn't happy.
And is that why you posted the things we've seen this week, because you weren't happy?
No, I posted it because the sheriff's never supposed to raid my house in the first place. The whole raid was a mistake. All of this is their fault. If they hadn't have wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money would still be intact, nothing. So all of this is their fault.
And because they executed a search warrant on your home, that gave you the right to post the things that we've seen this week on the internet?
Because
Is that right? Is that right, Mr. Foreman?
Yes, for
Yes.
tearing down my door, not paying for it, not being apologetic, me being a sport, doing something peaceful to raise the money to pay for their damages, me having the right of the freedom of speech as an American to talk to my family, friends, and fans about what the sheriffs did to my home. Yes, I had the right to my freedom of speech. After they left, I had the right to kick the can and to do what I had to do to repair the damage they brought to my house.
So let's say that you have a child who's learned to act out by using negative behavior. They know that that's so effective. All they have to do is behave badly, and you're going to come running every time. It might be difficult for you as a parent to allow that behavior to happen without giving it your attention. But that is exactly the fastest way to get it to stop. Because attention, guys, is the greatest currency. And it's the greatest currency not only for kids, but for most people. The reason why a child continues to behave badly is because it's so effective at getting what they want, at getting your attention, which is the currency for a small child. That's what they care about above all else. And in a similar way, when you are engaging with people online, particularly trolls or people who get off on negative attention, who get off on starting arguments, fighting with you, getting you upset, making you scared, making you angry, continuing to feed it and feed into it, letting the whole world know that it really upsets you, it really bothers you, and you really want it to stop. What happens in that dynamic? Where is the power? Who has the power? Much like a child who looks at you and pours soup on the ground, realizes that you are bound to pay attention to them if they do it. If you have a troll, you have somebody who keeps digging at you online, and your reaction is to keep giving it time, effort, and energy, you can pretty much guarantee that that behavior on the part of the troll is going to escalate. You're showering it with attention, but the other thing that you're giving is power, because that person knows they're renting space in your head. They know that they've got you wrapped around their finger. If what you want, if the goal, as many of them stated, was not to get money, but was to make it stop, did you really think that escalating this to a trial was the way to do it? Because as Afroman himself told us, all it did was elevate his popularity exponentially. Now, the whole freaking world is focused on these police officers, which went from a local story to an international story where people from all over the world now have an awareness about this absurd, incompetent group of cops and are likely going to torment them forever. And you know what? I can't blame them, because how could you possibly have thought that continuing to feed this, that continuing by taking this to court and escalating it up 10 notches, how could you not have realized the situation that that was going to put you in? Did you really think that that was going to get Afroman to stop? If nothing else, let's let this be a lesson to us all as to what not to do if you're bothered by somebody's satire of you. Because the fastest way to make it go away is to not give it your attention as much as possible, remembering that people are going to have whatever opinion of you they're going to have. And in actuality, most of us, the people that we come into contact with in our real lives day to day, most of us give people a chance based on how they engage with us. So even if one of these cops shows up on your front door because whatever, they're looking for somebody or you did something wrong, they're there to arrest you, it'll be your experience with them directly that ultimately affects your true opinion of them. Who cares what the rest of us think? We're not going to get arrested by any of these people. Hell, I'll probably never be in this county in Ohio for the rest of my life. Most of you won't either. So why the hell do these cops care so much about what Afroman is saying? Don't go to X. Don't open your YouTube feed. Tell your family members to screw off. Don't send me these anymore. I don't care what he's saying. Give your attention to something else. Because letting this guy and his silly, funny videos get under your skin and torture you is only making it exponentially more likely that he's going to keep doing it. Because it's working. You're giving it your attention, and as a result of that, now all of us are talking about it too. How stupid do you have to be? And I get it. Our feelings get hurt. We get emotional, and we don't like people saying bad things about us. There's nothing you can do about it except stop giving it your attention. And then it might actually go away. And here's what never to do. And I really mean never. Never. When you're in the wrong, when you've done something wrong, like, I don't know, break down somebody's door and accuse them of a crime that they did not commit, definitely don't sue that person whose home you abruptly knocked the door down of and try and claim that somehow they did you wrong. That is never going to be a winning strategy, no matter who you are and no matter what that homeowner has to say about it. Unfortunately for these guys, you happen to pick the home of a satirist rapper who makes his money by making fun of people just like these guys. So, look, in the end, this might be the best thing that ever happened to Afroman. And these poor cops, my advice to you is forget about it. Move on. Let it go, guys. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
It is the defense counselor's duty to protect the rights of the individual, as it is the prosecution's duty to uphold and defend the laws of the state. Justice for all. Only we have a problem here.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
This is me reminding you to like this video, Like the video, comment, subscribe, like this video.